You or anybody you know are interested in getting into immigration evaluations, you don't need to know immigration law. Like, it's very important for me to stress that you guys do not need to know the applications thoroughly in and out. You just don't. I don't want anybody to get this misconception that for you to be a therapist or a clinician, a mental health professional who provides these services, services to the global community, that you need to know how to effectively help someone fill out an application, understand the law, the legal proceedings, and testifying and all that other stuff. You don't. Okay? You don't. So I'm going to get into testimony in the future, expert testimony, witness. Like I'm going to get into that a little bit more in the future, but that's like some next level stuff. But the very first misconception, like the most important thing that I wanted to nail down today in this group, this live, was I don't want you all to get caught up in thinking that you need to know immigration law. You don't. That's not our space. So as a mental health professional, you've been scrolling online trying to find cheap or easy or quick or, basically free trainings to do immigration evaluations. Just join my Facebook group. The amount of value that is in my Facebook group it's significantly valuable. It's significantly valuable. Just join the Facebook group. You can learn for free if you poke around, you scroll. I've got years of content in there. Look at the feature tabs. Look at the files and the documents. Like, I've got value in there. So, very first thing that I want you to get from this video is that you do not need to know immigration law. You need to know the basics, but you don't need to know immigration law. I'm going to dig a little bit deeper into that, and I'm going to give you examples after this message. I bet you didn't know that if you signed up with YG, Your Guide to Immigration Evaluations, you get a $100 affiliate like a link for anybody who registers through your link. So if you say, hey, you're interested in doing immigration evaluations, I took this one, YG, from this guy named Jeremiah Rankins. He's a licensed professional counselor in Texas. He taught me how to do these immigration evaluations. If you really want to learn, I recommend him because he did this for me. Now I do immigration evaluations. It's a $100 affiliate link. So for everybody you send my way, I give you $100 after you complete the course. So a lot of people don't know that's an added benefit to joining my program. The more you share the word, the more you have the opportunity to gain that referral, that affiliate referral bonus. That's something to think about. Okay, so let me explain to you why it's so important for me to stress that you knowing the law or the applications and all that other stuff. The reason why it's so important for me to tell you that you don't need to know the law in and out, not so you can start getting into it right away. That's not the reason why. Sorry, you guys. That is not the reason why. The reason why is because the more you know about these applications, when you start getting these referrals and you start writing these reports, you start skewing your report to help the client. Even though the client didn't stress this, didn't report this, you start asking questions to kind of go towards how the application favors the response. I'll give you an example. Like, if there's no physical evidence of this person receiving physical abuse in her relationship. And so you say, well, there's no physical abuse there, emotional abuse. It's really not hard. It's not hard evidence or psychological proof to show in your report that you suffered this emotional abuse. And so you start asking questions, pulling questions out because you know the details of VAWA, the VAWA application. You know what the VAWA application is looking for. And so you're going to try to ask certain questions to help the client identify with the VAWA requirements. That's not what we do. So the more you know about these applications and the law, the more you'll start skewing your questions, your interview process, your report, your writing, your conceptualization. You start changing your language to sound like it's applicable to a VAWA instead of it naturally coming out as this is what this person suffered: financial abuse, emotional abuse, psychological abuse, because her partner threatened to report her to ICE if she left him. The partner threatened her and the children because the children were undocumented, and she loves the children so much she would do whatever to protect her children. So she stayed in this abusive relationship because she didn't want her children to go back to Mexico, where the education is not as good and the opportunities are not as good. So she continued to withstand this abuse. So instead of it naturally coming out that way, you start wording your report, even though she didn't report this. You start asking certain questions to try to get her to report it, but it didn't happen. It doesn't exist. So that is why it's so important. That's the best way that I can do it. Like, I'm not reading off a teleprompter. This is off the top of my head in my experience. So if it didn't come out as well, I didn't articulate it as well, this is off the fly, I'm sorry. But that's the best example that I can give you off the top of my head, okay? The reason why I don't teach that you should know everything there is to know about a VAWA application or any other U visa, T visa, any of the hardships, right? The reason why I don't teach you the ins and outs of these applications is because we as therapists are helpers, and we want to help the people who are claiming that they have suffered these traumas, and now they're suffering emotionally, okay, psychologically. And so we want to help them. And so instead of studying and learning of the ins and outs of those applications, I only want you to focus on what we specialize in. That is mental health challenges. Okay? As a mental health professional, I only want you to focus on that aspect of these reports. And so that's why I do not go in depth in that other stuff. I do not go in depth. If you guys are going to be around the Houston area on October 10th, or state of Texas, or you want to plan a trip to Houston, Texas, October the 10th, I am putting on an in-person workshop, another in-person workshop. This one, it's going to be in a large room, not a ballroom, but like a hotel. You know how the hotels have those venues? It's going to be in one of those. Okay. The details are going to be the link in the description of this video and in the comments. So it'll be in two different places. You can click on the link and you can go to the website. You can register, sign up. It's $40. I think it's 3 CEUs. Don't get me to lying to you, but I think it's 3 CEUs. 4 hours will be there. You'll be with me and an attorney. I don't think Claudia will be there. I think it'll be an attorney, Naomi. I've worked with her in the past. This is going to be a great opportunity for you not only to get 3 CEUs or CEUs. I don't want to put a number on it, but it's not only an opportunity for you to gain CEUs, but also ask questions and mix and mingle with clinicians who have already been doing this work. Last thing that I want to say before I jump off my live, the last thing that I want to mention is I don't want you all to learn from different people. When you learn from different people, what happens is you start taking away from them. You start taking away from them. You take a little bit from over here, take a little bit from over here. Immigration is a huge thing across this nation. Across the United States of America, immigration is a big deal. It's huge. Immigration is huge. And people are being deported on a daily basis. Yesterday, attorney Claudia was telling me that this person has, I'm going to give you 3 tips for those who are, that you can take away. You can give to the community, tell them Those who are undocumented, tell them. I'm going to give you 3 tips at the end of this video. Stay tuned. Just yesterday, Attorney Claudia was telling me that someone went to go check in with ICE and they got detained because of a felony that they caught years ago. And they have been checking in. They've been doing their responsibilities. They've been paying taxes and all that stuff. They went in to do a regular check-in with ICE, and boom, they got detained. Okay? People are being detained every single day and night. And so it's important for us to know our role and know what we are doing to help both the United States of America, the federal government, and those individuals who are seeking legal status the right way. Okay? 3 things that you can take away. You can give people 3 pieces of advice that I want you to give them. Okay? Anybody who is undocumented here in the States. Okay, this is not just Spanish speakers. This is from Poland, Iceland, like people who do not have legal status in the United States. I don't want you to automatically think that they are Spanish speakers from South America, shithole countries like Haiti. Don't do that. Number 1, save as much money as you possibly can. Live under the radar, meaning you're not buying no fancy stuff. You're not trying to buy those, what are those electric bicycles, like skateboards. You're not trying to buy. You need to save as much money as you possibly can for the next 3 years. Under the Trump administration, we're not celebrating Kwanzaa. We're not celebrating Christmas, Happy St. Nicholas. We're not doing none of that for the next 3 years. If you care about staying here in the United States and keeping your families together, if that is something that you value, that is a value to you, then you will make the sacrifice not to celebrate these holidays, American holidays, these Western pagan holidays. Don't celebrate the holidays. Save your money. Make the sacrifice for the greater good of your future and your family's future. Okay. Pinch your pennies. Save as much money as you can. Avoid holidays because they just dig into your pocket to make you broke. That's number 1. Number 2, have an emergency plan. Have a contingency plan. Have a contingency plan. What that means is if something goes wrong, someone is apprehended, someone is detained, ICE deports them, you have a structure, a list of things that you do that you know everybody is on the same page and doing. We're going to call auntie blah, blah, blah. We're going to call uncle blah, blah, blah. We're going to call the attorney. We're going to pull all the family. We're going to go to this one location, right? And so you need to have whatever plan that looks like, you need to have it in place. So when you have a savings, hopefully you have a few thousand, 5 to 10 grand stuck back. You have a lump sum of saving, okay, in the back. Then you have a contingency plan. The very last thing that I want to say, no crimes. No crimes. You cannot commit any felonies. You cannot drink and drive. You can't have one drink and get behind the wheel. You cannot commit a crime here in the United States. You can't do it. We all shouldn't be doing it, but you who are undocumented, you especially cannot commit any crimes. So I spoke to the licensed clinicians, then I spoke to those who are undocumented, but now I want those who, I'm speaking to the clinicians again, those who are clinicians, I want you to take the 3 pieces of advice that I just gave you, and I want you to share that with those people who are undocumented that come across your radar. They're your family members, they're your loved ones, friends, whoever it may be, coworkers, I don't know. People you service in the community at shelters or agencies, or they have jobs wherever you're at. I don't know. But if they are undocumented, I want you to give them those 3 pieces of advice. Rewind this video to watch them again. Take notes. at the workshop that I'll be hosting in Houston, Texas, October 10th. Very important. I'll be handing out cards. On these cards, it says "Know Your Rights" in English and Spanish. You'll be passing these out to people who are in your network. You're passing these out to potential clients, new clients, PNCs. You're going to be passing them out to people who are possibly, or they are undocumented, or they have family members who are undocumented. These are the immediate interventions that we can be doing to help the global community who is seeking legal status here in the United States of America. These cards are sharing your rights. As a person on U.S. soil, these are your rights. Here's the kicker. In today's political climate, you're up-ish creek with no paddle. Like you have very little wind. And so you've got to make sure that you are doing everything you can to stay out the limelight, stay out the law's eyes. Okay, stay out their way. Stay out the way for the next 3 years. At the very least, the next 3.5 years, you have got to stay out the way. This administration is not playing. They are kicking people out of the U.S. any means necessary. No mercy. Get out. And the American people, they're, for the mass majority who don't look like me or you, they're 100% with it. Okay? So, with that being said, you have to be extremely careful. Rewind this video. Take notes on the 3 tips that I'm giving out to those who are undocumented, those clinicians. Those are the things that you can do. But I am passing out those cards. You know, take 5, take 10. I'm passing them out at the workshop. You want to make sure that you get your hands on them. I'll send you the website so you can check that out and see how you can order them and create more impact in the capacity of the mental health professional. I hope this video helps you all. I'm going to jump off this live, but thank you for joining me. This is Jeremiah Rankins, licensed professional counselor. Check out the links that I have for you on the website, on the links on the YouTube channel, and the description and the comments of this video. See y'all next time.